方和刚刚综合赛制方一样 ，UCL 是担任甲方，然后 City 这边是担任乙方。现在比赛正式开始。
Hello and welcome to Beijing. So let me start by introducing our key representatives. So I'm the project manager of this project, Tian Yuan, and here's our representative from the Investment Promotion Bureau.
Hi everyone, I'm the representative from the Investment Promotion Bureau and Financial Officer, Shirley Chang.
And here's our legal advisor.
Hi, I'm the legal advisor of the Bureau, Chang Liu.
And here's our market advisor.
Hi, I'm market advisor of the company,
Thank you so much. And my name is Wang Hanga, I'm the project manager for this negotiation. And on my left-hand side is our financial advisor, Dong Chen. From my right hand, firstly is Angela Chen, our senior manager. And from far away, this is our this is our marketing advisor, Cassie Chen. And from far to the end is our legal advisor, Jenkins Now. Thank you so much. For recap, for the last negotiation, we have mentioned before we need 750 of land to build our factory. However, the construction period will remain about 5 years with a 3 period. But the whole project will be more than 10 years, which means we have 5 more years, at least 5 more years of investment and retention rate from all the projects. So that means we can and we have the ability to obtain your requirement of 1 million per unit, I suppose. That's the first point I want to clarify. So thank you, sorry to interrupt. I would like my financial advisor to make the first proposal, please.
Thank you, Carl. Based on the discussion, we would like to provide total investment of 750 million RMB and request lend of 750 million. It will be a 5-year project, which will be divided into 3 periods in terms of construction.
The 5 periods is only the period of construction, not only the more than 5 years is for the investment period of expanding capacity.
So may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What do you mean by the 5 more years?
At least 5 more years. As you know, we're not a construction company, we are a investing and technology company. And that's why you're inviting us to Liaoning province, right? We're not here only to shoulder the responsibility for constructing a project. We're shouldering for constructing and operating, which means we have the ability to achieve your standards in the long term. So that's why we extend the whole project period to at least 10 years.
Right. Okay. So we'll talk about that later. But I appreciate that your proposal and
Thank you so much.
that we appreciate the investment intensity is over 1 million, which means you would enjoy our zero land cost policy. But however, we have concerns over the land usage, total land usage of 750 rooms, and also we would talk about the investment periods and etc. later. But let me just start by first summarizing our last negotiation. So what was our current progress? So we held the initial discussion before us. We visited Taiwan and we recognize the advanced level of technology that your company possesses, and I think it's very valuable. And we also the Taiwan company, your company also demonstrated enthusiasm in investing in our project, and I think we think that you company possess the strength in the investment, and that's why we are very glad to sit down here and have a negotiation with you. And so right now about the land usage, I will let my market advisor to elaborate on this, because we have a land shortage situation in Liaoning province.
The contradiction between scarce land resources and expanding demand for industrial land is particularly acute. About 700,000 hectares of land are supplied for state-level construction, and 200,000 hectares of land is used for industrial purpose. investment in industrial lands in the eastern region increased by 17.8% year-on-year. However, the proportion of industrial land supply in the eastern region fell by 8.8 percentage points year-on-year, driven by regional development strategies and plans, land for industrial purpose in Liaoning in great demand, and the adjustment of regional land usage patterns is accelerating.
Well, thank you so much.
So basically, sorry, but just to summarize, I think we have a shortage problem of the industrial land used for industrial purpose. So some 150 mu is absolutely not acceptable because we simply don't have that much
So
land.
I would like to hear what you can offer.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Go on.
Please. Yeah, the land usage.
Oh, land usage. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna introduce you the first scheme. So our first scheme is to provide 400 mu of total land usage with investment intensity of 1.5 million per yuan per mu, which brings the total investment to 6 million yuan total investment. And then we would like to divide the investment plan into 2 periods, within 3 years. So we would like the construction to be completed in 3 years. And the investment in the first period consists of 60% of the total investment, constructing on 3 sub-projects, and the second period constructing on 2 sub-projects. And also regarding the examination of information about your technology equipments, we would like to examine all 5 types before the construction begins, and the carbon company should be registered as an independent cooperative enterprise in the investment.
So the EIA problem and the how to register our company will be the least one we have to discuss about. I mean, the core benefit for our company is the land, as you know, because our capacity is based on the land usage. I believe you know that. So, as we know, we have the last negotiation. You have promised a 500 mu with 1 million per mu, I suppose. Yes, miss?
Yeah, I think this is.
Do we agree with, you said the last time, your bureau, sorry for the words. Your bureau have promised the last time for 500 mu and 1 million per mu, right? That's the investment intent. But your project manager now is saying to me, you only have 400 mu. It's quite different about what your bureau has said last time.
As my market advisor pointed out, that we have a shortage.
Yeah, I totally understand the shortage.
And right now, so we would like to keep the land usage low.
Yeah, I know, but let's say one more new thing I want to demonstrate. Yes, please. According to the mainland, the 11th 5-year plan, your province has already changed this core strategy to an equal environmental construction. As previous years, your province, as I know, is mainly based on heavy industries like steel, something like that. That's make your shortage of the land. But I have to say, with the mainland policy, we do have the priority of the land usage. So from my perspective, I mean, 750 is quite reasonable. Besides, we can meet your standard of 1 million per month. I believe that's your policy. You cannot change it by we're saying we would like to propose 1.5 million. By what? By your country policy? I don't get it.
Right.
I mean, the investment intent cannot be changed by any individual person. It should be by country or by your bureau. I need to see your bureau's papers for that. Otherwise, 1.5 will be quite not
I
acceptable.
do appreciate that you appreciate our government policy of zero land cost of 1 million yuan. But for your previous point, I disagree with you because I never made any promise of saying that we can offer 500 more of land
We
at any
said
time.
last time, we need 750. That's a must for our industry and manufacturing land. And you said you cannot do with 750, you can do with only 500.
So as
now
I
you're
said,
saying to me only 400.
Market advisor, 750 new land is not reasonable.
Yes, but you also know 400 is not reasonable for us, right?
Yeah, okay.
But you're trying to get a little
Okay,
point.
let me just add on one point, saying that based on our last discussion, 1 million, what he mentioned is that this is the policy that we can't change, because that's what we discussed from last time. So the minimum, if we want to enjoy the zero land cost policy, then we have to invest at least 1 million per move. That's the incentive, that's the number. So what he's saying is that you can't just change the policy because, and you also reduce our land at the same time, but the policy is set. So at least you have like.
We're not trying to change this policy to 1 million. If you invest more than, if the investment intensity
is
is
1 million.
1 million,
Yeah, then we can
you
enjoy
enjoy
the real land.
Yes, so we're not charging any land cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so
That's just to clarify.
yeah, just to clarify. But I'm glad that you just pointed out about the what where we're where government stance on transitioning from a heavy industry to a more environmental friendly industry. So I'll let my legal advisor to elaborate on our government's policies on environmental companies.
Okay. So we've got a lot of promotion policies in the province, according to environmental protection companies. So firstly, according to the implementing regulations of the law of the People's Republic of China on enterprise income tax, Article number 88. So for income generated from waste material processing projects that meet the specified criteria, which is the project your company is doing, the income tax are completely exempted for the first 3 years, and 50% exempted for the next 3 years. So like from year 1 to year 3, you're not responsible for the income tax, and for the 4th year to 6th year, you only need to pay half of the income tax. And also, like, in our industrial park, we got full services from project approval, and we also got some free registration to project commencement formalities, and also reduction in fees. And also, we can help you to do the recruitment across the Liaoning province.
Okay, thank you so much for those statistics. But one thing I have a little bit concerned about, according to the mainland tax law, I suppose, after 2008, the so-called new tax law, when it's published, I believe the income tax reduction have been changed. Do they?
Yes, they have.
Yes, please.
Yes. So thank you for your legal advices, but according to what we have researched, after 2008, there's a change in the taxation law according to what has been proposed. And according to what we have researched, there are not only the policies that you've mentioned before, but also there is some policies on the reduced taxes, and there are policies on the reinvestment tax refund as well. But both of these are not mentioned by your bureau, so I would like to clarify them here. So according to number 28 in Enterprise Income Tax Law of the People's Republic of China, productive foreign invested enterprises with foreign investment of more than $30 million and long investment recovery projects can enjoy 50% reduction of corporate income tax. So this is according to the income tax law. And also for the reinvestment tax refund, we have a policy that's saying that the profits obtained by a foreign investor from a foreign invested enterprise are directly reinvested in the enterprise if the operating period is not less than 5 years. The reinvested enterprise may be refunded 40% of income tax. And these two regulations are the new regulations that has been published after 2008, which means that it's totally reasonable that we can enjoy these two policies as our company, as Taiwan company.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jenkins. So the tax policy, I totally understand why you propose that. But I mean, from my company, a technology and investment company, the land usage are related to our capacity. Our capacity is directly related to your GDP, I have to say. That's why I'm
so from
queuing
your
my.
government point of view,
Sorry.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 750 is quite reasonable, and I would like my marketing manager to explain a bit why 750 is reasonable for us and why it's a must. 750
let us just
750,
explain.
yes,
Yeah.
please.
why we think we really need the 750 move based on our market research on the quantity, because based on the quantity demanded for the discarded materials, that's how we get all the calculation from. And I'll ask our market advisor to tell you more details about the numbers we research on.
Yes, we have a clear line distribution for all the programs, and here are the exact locations of. And here are the exact locations of all the sectors and the precise area each sector will have. Also, areas of plants will depend on the market volumes of the plants, of those industries, sorry. And the rankings and the exact numbers are on the form I just gave you.
And also we, as you've seen on the second floor plan we give you, that's what our plan for the overall construction and the project for the industry.
Right. So, after we understand that you, about the taxation policies, we, from the government's perspective, would happily, give your company the policies of taxation, but your investment intensity needs to meet the standards, and you have to respect that, or land shortage. That's the situation that are in your province. So, our market advisor has also researched about similar types, discarded material, recyclization of industries. So, if you elaborate on this, on similar industries.
Yes, please, miss.
So basically, based on my research, the existing industrial parks have been basically filled with projects, and supply of land is limited, which resulted in a relatively shortage of land supply for your project. So our point is to keep the total investment fixed, but increase the investment intensity, which would be beneficial for our company as well, because if you invest in more, you can return more, you can get more profit year on year at the beginning. And the market potential, as we know, for discarded tire or other kind of metals is very promising, and I hope that you can devote more money and efforts, capital into these projects as early as possible, so that we can enjoy the joint benefits in a short period of time.
Yeah, I think we have the same aim for the overall projects. We want to achieve the maximum profit as possible, and you want to increase the intensity of each mole of land uses. However, what we just try to illustrate is that the technology and the equipment, we are providing all the equipment and technology, so we really know how much land we need to actually construct the whole process. That's why we're trying to explain that we already designed the land, the floor plan, and this is the amount of.
So so after the seeing through your estimation of land use, we would like to make a compromise and change for total land usage to 500, and that should be no more, because that's understanding that that's our initial proposal, and that's under the shortage of industrial land situation made, and also understanding that you have a so what's your total investment again? 750 million.
We will invest
right?
at
700 million.
any
That's a total
price
investment.
to actual standard if you give me the corresponding land. Am I clear? If you give me a 650, I will go to 650 million. If you give me 750, I'll go to 750 million. I will definitely meet the standard of 1 million. So, not one CI, one everyone. Yes, please.
We just want to clarify that we do have the financial ability to invest in the long term. However, in the short term, if we're saying that we want 750 more of land, we can invest 750 million in the long term. However, in the short term, due to our liquidity problem, we can't invest that amount of money. However, we can meet your standard of the zero land cost of investing at least 1 million per year. So,
We respect that, but we still, as our market advisors pointed out, investing more, increasing investment intensity when you more profits over time because we have such a large existing market in the Northern Province for these starting materials.
Yes, of course.
And so work condition right now is the 500 mil with land investment intensity to 1.2 million euro. So that's around 6 million in total investment.
And as a market advisor said, we ask the People's Republic of China don't really have that much amount of land in our province right now. So please also consider our situation and know that 750 is really a high figure for us. And please let's face the reality and lower the land, please.
How about that? Because at the moment you don't have that much land, and I understand that if you don't have that much land, we can force you to give us more land. How about in the short term? In the long term, we hope that you can at least provide us with 715. We have at least by our calculation, I think, in the first period, which from the first.
Would you mind?
At least in the first 5 years, first 3 years, it will
First 3 years you want 500 million. But what's the total land usage you're going to
750
Yeah,
for the whole project, because that's what we need.
for long term.
Yeah, for the
For long
long
term.
term.
We'll
To
leave
build
that
the
for
land.
discussion, but for further negotiation, maybe after the construction period. But we're happy to give you 500 million of land for the construction period to begin.
In 2
Well,
years. For the first 2.
Yes, of course.
You mean the construction period limited to 2 years?
The construction period of period 1,
Period 1
yeah,
consists of 2 years.
consists of 2 years, and we will change the project of the electric wire and the applicants to our marketing volume, the first rank one, which will definitely got more investment if you that might meet your standard.
Right. So we're agreeing that for the construction period to begin, the total land usage should be 500 million.
Oh, can you let us just discuss for 2 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, after our negotiation, in the long term, we actually need, in the long term, 750, that's what we need. But in the short term, for this period of construction, we can,
May I ask how long is the period?
more than 10 years
More than 10 years for the construction, or
for the construction and investment.
so how long is the construction?
For the construction period, as we have discussion, after our discussion, we will, the estimation of land will be used for the project market ranking 1 to 3, which will add total of 400, but that one is excluded from all the landscaping, accommodation and warehouse.
And
That's
so,
the manufacturing area.
so
So
about the 500
500 is what we
long-term land
need.
usage needed 750 million.
That's for the long term.
Yes, for long term, yes. And we would like to, I think my market advisor has got something to question here about your land usage, of your estimation land use for each type of construction.
According to our market research, the combination should be accounted for as land used for project construction. It should be.
Yes, of course, I know that. We're from Taiwan. Our dormitory or accommodation for our employees is like 4 people per room.
I mean, do you include that in your construction per move?
It's only about 10 to 20, I suppose. So that's containing a little bit part
I
of
think
that.
landscaping and
landscaping and
warehouses is what we are concerned. If you want to reduce the warehouses, then I believe the productive capacity might decrease. That means you can't actually process that much discarded materials at the same time, which means you can't achieve to solve your environmental issues in the short term, and we can also earn that much profit as well. So that's like reducing both of our final objectives.
So what I'm saying now is I can construct the market ranking for the first, second, and third market ranking industries in 5 years.
Alright,
In
so
5 years.
5 years, that's the construction period.
That's the construction period, and we need 500.
What would you say about the long term? So
The long term, we need 750.
Yeah. But about the other land, so 5 years, and how long would you for the investment or whatever?
For
You
the
said
investment,
about
for the
something more
investment,
than 5 years. That's
absolutely. We're operating this
project
project
operation. Okay. So I understand that I'm glad that you pointed out that we need to fix the environment. So we would like to implement this industry as quickly as possible to solve environmental problems.
503
War
section
issue-
will be okay.
No,
In 5 years.
Sorry.
500 in 3 sectors and will be constructed
3
in 5
sections.
years.
What do you mean by 3 periods?
Three sectors means we will construct the
Sub-projects.
3 projects with the market ranking 1 to 3, the first top 3.
We have 5 sub-projects too.
Right. So you construct 3 sub-projects in the first period.
Three of the largest
in
projects,
5 years.
In 5 years.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
for the
I think
for the last
I
2,
think
you can we can construct it when you
Provide
pass
us
the
with the land.
250.
Right, but it's just as I said, I'm glad that you pointed out that you want to implement this quickly. So initial scheme, if you if you can recall, is to we plan to finish the construction within 3 years. So
3 years,
3
as
years.
you have mentioned, 3 projects or 5 projects.
No, 5 sub projects
5 sub-projects in 3 years.
in 3 years time.
You
So
only provided us with 400 more land.
no, 500 rule land.
I
thought we
thought we
agreed.
just have agreement on 3 sub-projects constructed in a construction period of 5 years with
No,
500.
we agreed that you can construct 3 sub periods, 3 projects in the first period. We appreciate that.
No, not in the first period. We still
Not in
have,
the first
that doesn't mean 3 periods. We haven't actually discussed about the periods. We're only saying that within the 5 years, we are agreed to only construct 5 sub-projects. And then another 2 projects is not
Okay.
included
Sorry,
in
I'm
this
not- that's-
construction
I
period,
misunderstood
because
that.
we don't have enough land, so how can we construct 5
Right.
projects?
So
If you only give
as
us
my
500.
market advisor pointed out, we think that in long term 500 rule land is enough for the whole construction.
That's
And
from
we-
your
and
perspective.
I think 5 years. Within 5 years. We would compromise that the whole construction period to be limited to be done in 5 years. But we would need all 5 subjects to be finished during this 5 years time. And also we have a land transferring fee that you need to pay before the transferring of the land.
Yes, of
and
course,
we
I know
would
that.
give it back to you as a reward for your investment and construction. But if you would like to shorten your investment period or to give down more sub projects, we could offer to lower the land transferring fee. I would like to my financial
We will
advisor.
lower the land
Total land transferring fee. If you
total
would
land
like to-
transferring fee. Well, I
total
saw
land
that.
transferring fee. If you can construct more sub projects, finish 5 sub projects within 5 years.
Okay, I thought the
So-
figure was made by legal. Okay.
Yeah, so we have more figures by our financial advisor.
Yes, so, according to data we collected from the cities and towns land royalties in the regulations of the People's Republic of China, Article number 4, the land royalty per square meter per year for a medium-sized city. We would like to offer you a figure of 5 instead of 6, which we initially wanted to offer you, because for a figure of 5, you will have to pay a much less land transferring fee. So for a figure of 5, you have to pay 16,666.75 million yuan instead of a higher figure of so you have to pay this.
I'm sorry.
8.3 billion yuan in total, which is a really discounted price.
Would you mind repeat the total one again?
8.3 million yuan for 500 mil of land usage. This is a really cheap price.
And we would give you back at the end of the project as a support.
Yes.
So, but
Yeah,
we would like to, we could lower it if you can, build up more sub-projects during this 5-year time period.
Well,
5 years,
the thing
5 to-
I want to
yes.
demonstrate, you have our land distribution plan, right?
Yes.
You already have that.
As I said, the board market advisor first
I know.
pointed out some
I know, I
concerns
totally
over
understand
this.
it.
But
The thing I want to
Yes.
explain is the manufacturing area is fixed. I have to admit that that's fixed. That can't be a changeable.
Because we already have this production in Taiwan, and we use the same, probably like similar technology and equipment that we already invented. So I can't just change the size of the equipment and technology we use.
Okay.
And also we want
so
to ask the
understanding that,
marketing
could we
advisor.
make an offer of 600 of land?
Oh, so
for
you
the
can
land
actually
usage?
rise to 600. Oh,
No,
well, actually,
no,
we'll
but
definitely
under
take
the,
that.
under the condition
Yes.
that all 5 sub-projects will be finished constructed within 5 years.
Yeah, but can I just clarify that you do have that much of land to provide within 5 years? Because we assume that you don't have that much amount of land to provide in 5 years. That's why we say that we do need 750.
No, yeah,
but
we have this
in the
shortage
first
problem,
5
but
in the
we-
first 5
yeah.
years we only need 400. And to provide you with 3 sub-projects. And also I want to ask your marketing
Well,
advisor
we would
that
like to get all 5 sub-projects finished within 5
But
years.
Yes,
we
of course.
need
We will
700
get
land.
all 5 projects finished with 750.
750, but we cannot offer that much.
That's what I'm saying,
Yes.
we want to extend the period, but we
Like,
can promise
so
you
If
to.
you extend the period, that would result in a higher land transfer fee. And
Right.
also, yes, and also, you said that you want to, implement this as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Both sides want that, so
Yeah,
why would you? Okay.
Because that, as he said earlier, we promised to construct the first 3, the most important sub-projects with the highest demand, which is, based on our market, research, is the tubes of fluorescent lamp. That is the one that with the highest demand. So if we can construct it at an earlier stage, so we can solve your problem earlier as well. That's what we're saying, that we can.
No, constructing 3 sub-projects is not enough. We need all 5 to
Yes, of course.
finish construction.
I totally
So,
understand your concern, but
Could we,
for the first around 30 minutes, we all have demonstrated the importance, the significance of land usage, that why we need that, why we plan that, why the manufacturing area is fixed.
Yes,
And
we
you said,
understand
sorry,
this.
would you mind letting me finish that? You have research for the similar industry, but actually we're having a industry area
So as
in
for
China, in
research
mainland.
in
So
similar
that one is
industry
not
shown,
comparable.
You don't need 750 move land to construct a similar
we're
size.
saying
To
It's
fix
not
your
comparable.
market, we need 750. If you're considering your market is quite high, quite large, quite surprising, quite got a surprisingly future,
Wait,
we need
just-
750.
We
right?
have a short, I think my market advisor's got a question for you.
Okay, please.
You just mentioned you need to construct 3 important sub-projects and it requires 400 years land. and
500.
500. And then you need 750 years land for the other
Yes.
2 sub-projects.
Yes.
Why is it? Because I think 3 projects is very important and takes up more land and the other 2 sub-projects.
Because the maximum you can offer is 500.
No, we already lowered it to,
It's-
we already said that, under the condition that you would finish those 5 sub-projects within 5 years, we would provide you, given the difficulty that we have, to 600 move of land,
In 5
okay?
years,
In 5 years,
for 5
for
sub-projects.
5
Okay.
sub-projects to be finished. Okay?
Yeah, we can take that. However, within the 5 years, we need to split into 3 periods.
3 periods,
Three
but
phases.
with first period we
Only
invest
one-
on
only
3
one.
sub-projects.
With first period, only 1 sub-project, which is the largest one.
Okay,
The one with
so
the highest demand. If
So
that,
let me get back to my point about the land transferring fee. We would like to lower it if you could construct more sub-projects within a shorter period of time.
So first
But if
period
you,
would
if
be-
you, that's a support for your
Yeah.
investment.
okay.
But if you would construct only 1 sub-project within the first period, I think we don't have the need to give you
Okay.
back as quickly.
How about that we
So-
propose our second plan about the period.
Okay.
In the first period, we construct 2 sub-projects, but it's the 2 smaller sub-projects, which is the,
I mean, of course, I
How about
understand your
first,
concern.
we divide it
We
into
have
3 periods.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
first
yeah.
period, you construct on 2 sub-projects.
sub-
yeah,
For second period, 2 sub-projects.
Two
And then the
sub-projects.
third period, 1 project.
The one last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Will that be cool?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but then,
Okay, I'm glad
I
we,
think,
agree.
yeah, I hope you understand that, cause the sub-project, how we calculate it is based on the market demand. So
Right.
it's saying that if you have that much amount of discarded materials, that's why we want to, do the first big
Yeah, I
project.
think our market demand is quite high or market potential is quite high. But like, can we move on to the examination, the environmental
Yeah, yeah,
examination
yeah.
of so our legal advisor, I think, got something to say to this, or about how our government preserves your intellectual property
Yeah,
and make sure that your security of
Yeah.
your
Mhm.
technology.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so as for helping ourselves, we can promise you to keep all your information submitted confidential. But we do recognize that you don't want your patent rights to be stolen by any company else. So we can offer you a plan of like as you want to make evaluation to between different periods. So a periodical submission of information could be discussed, but in consideration of risk management, because we can't we're not sure if you can meet all the standards in the in each evaluation. So your company will be facing a penalty fare if the information submitted in the second or third round fails to pass our evaluation, because this is the penalty fare for the waste of our land, and your company will be charged for the waste of land, and the project is not allowed to progress further if it fails to pass the evaluation. And we also made a contract for the penalty fare.
Right.
Well, we can exchange some papers for that.
So yeah, so we would demand that all 5 types of technologies and equipment be analyzed, be examined before the construction begins.
Before the construction begins.
Before the construction.
The construction begins, I believe, it depends on when the assessment.
Yes,
So-
so if you can fasten that
You know-
procedure, we can construct more faster than that.
You
We
would
can-
examine, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would agree that all 5 types to be examined by us before your construction, right?
I mean,
Before
we
your
already are a manufacturing company. We are in operating, so
Right.
we do have that certification for that.
No,
Approved by,
you know,
let me finish,
because
please.
for government
Yeah, of
policy,
course.
we would need our environmental agency
Yes, of course.
to.
What I'm trying to say is I already got that. We already passed the standard in Taiwan. If anything, we need to add. We will add to the bureau, the same bureau in Taiwan. And you can, like,
Yes.
the 2 government departments can reach to each
Yeah,
other.
but you're
and I will help
doing
with that.
business in your land. We're the Liaoning province.
Yes, of course.
So
With-
we
I'm
have
a
our
company.
own environmental agency and we
I know
like
that.
to
I
carry
totally
out
understand your
our
concern.
examinations.
Within
ourselves.
I am representing a company and you're representing a bureau.
Okay.
When something happens, the victim will be us. So I want to get us out of this.
And also, we're trying to illustrate the point that, because we already have all the equipments and stuff in Taiwan, and like the similar equipment, so we already have some standards.
So
some
yeah, as
reports.
our legal advisor have said, that we would ensure your security of your intellectual property, etc., etc. And we would only by examining all 5 types is securing your future investment. Because what if we examine in stages, the first stage pass, but what if the second
Yeah,
stage
we are.
don't pass?
We, of course,
So-
we agree, five.
It'd be
One-off.
It'd be
and one-off
relatively low
examination.
risk for you as well if you choose to make a
Yes, of
seating
course,
nomination.
I understand that.
beforehand.
So please understand our concern. Is that when a company and a bureau had an agreement and had some problem with that, the company will always be the victims. So
Yeah,
I
we
would like to.
But we are promising you.
Yes,
that
of
we
course,
will-
and
will
you're
make the
inviting
time.
us, and you're inviting a
Yeah, we promise to
already
to-
operating company.
We promise
You
to
have to-
secure your.
You have to comply to our rule. We are China.
No, you're mainland.
Yes, we are mainland China.
Yeah, we're all China.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
接下来是我们的作业
差点以为他不在台了。
这个点
没有没有没有没有。
我来了。
所以没什么负责任，抛开一句，首先我们学到的第一点就是，优秀的人一定是有动力。难道说英音一定要那么低沉吗 ？Next time I will try to speak in this book 。所以我觉得这一场，我觉得个人感觉比较有意思的是，他们的点在于，他们的冲突在于两方对于案例的理解是完全不同的。这边的理解是那个叫什么？就投资强度，没有的投资强度是可以的。这边的理解是这个100万是不可能你都选，这是你们理解上的本质上的区别。我看到你们列的表非常的详细，从400、450、500、600一直到750都列出来了，包括不同从150万到100万的投资强度都列出来了。所以我觉得在前30多分钟，基本上前20多分钟。双方其实是互相都有点摸不着头脑啊，为什么他们可以给400亩用150万？为什么他们可以改这个投资强度都是摸不着头脑的？然后还有一点就是，其实我不知道为什么，就是因为我也没打过赛过，是大家为了给评委一种有让步的感觉，所以一开始要把标准定得很低。就我不知道为什么你们的 first round 是400亩。因为在前的标准定的不够，衔接对标准定的因为
他们是600。
他们第一个只有400亩，
他们是700。
就因为在之前的谈判中已经是一个上限是700亩，一个下限是500亩，就是你第一个人提出400亩，像作为台湾方肯定就啊，我
因为
500都不够
给的是
，500都不够，怎么突然给我400？人懵了，你知道吗？就那种人懵的感觉，所以我觉得这是。就是两方理解不一样，然后其实，但是到了14分钟的时候，还有14分钟的时候，这边理解过来了，就打了曾经我想打的方法，就是你给多大地，我生多大产，你给牛吃多少草，牛就产多少奶，你给500亩地，我就建3条线，剩下2条真建不了，是真建不了，但是我不知道，就是到了这个时候，因为当时只有14分钟。因为如果我在上面打的话，我就会想，这个我到底是坚持自己的原则呢，还是就是咱们找个方法折中搞下去？我个人的风格是会，如果我在场上我会折中搞下去，可能都没有涉及到旁边，就是没有按照之前定好的打，但是双方包括主台还有队伍的风格都是一种要坚持自我原则的，所以一直打到了最后，就我觉得比较有趣的地方吧，我觉得。然后还有最后一点就是。虽然最后没时间了，但我觉得可以有个人站出来说，就说虽然很遗憾我们这次没能谈好，但是请你吃饭了，对吧？因为总说嘛，规则里也说大家做个总结嘛，做个总结还能加点分什么的，对吧？我感觉你们其实因为最后还剩30几秒嘛，大家讨论没来China和China的问题，
挺好的，结束在这里。
没有什么好的，
挺好的，挺好的。
all China。
抛开语义之后，这是我个人感觉。要学会说英语。
第一个我觉得甲方他一开始其实你们就是跟他说的，可能你们定的那个过低，然后搞得好像前后有冲突，就是很难去协调好。然后呢，就是双方都有互相打断，特别是主谈都有同时说话的时候，而且还持续了蛮长的同时说话的时间。然后我觉得在英文谈判里面，最重要的是确定双方的那个方案是否一致。 其实我有点不是很知道，是600亩吧，最后确定是
600，
长度是多少？
强度100万。
对，然后也提到刚刚时间的把握，虽然甲方有推进，但是其实其他关键点也是跟那个地的强度有关系，所以就一直僵持不下来，所以没有像中文队那么有效率的谈很多点，这是一个问题。然后甲方市场他有提到一个前期投入多，后期收益大，就是有说到这个点，但是你没有后面的证据，或者像是同期相对的其他产业啊，或者相关的城市的一些资料去证明你这个观点，所以有一点点不足。所以乙方也没有办法接受你前期投入多，后期就会收益大这个。然后我觉得乙方就是做的 research 在那个 text， 在 policy， 你们其中一个那个优势就在于 enjoy the policy of mainland China， 然后就是有提到一些 text 上面的法律，我要致谢。越说越激动。大概是这样吧。
谢谢。
其实我想问一下一些有经验的人，我们在座好多有经验，就是如果打比赛的时候遇到两方对案例理解完全不一样的时候怎么打？
任何一方，我不是退了吗？
我们都退了，其实大家
对啊，都退了呀。
只能装作什么都知道，然后继续谈。
就只是说，
那这样，因为其实是单胜场我们是在一个 sub 就一个 period 可以投多少个 sub project。
我们已经公布有一开始就说了，就是我们一定能达到这个目标。
那我们一定有这个钱，我想让你们知道，就是我们一定可以就是投的细所以。
因为我们想我们想不到的话，
他们一直打到还剩14分钟的时候，最厉害的14分钟终于开始算了，我们让一让。
然后对我们来说是最好的，我们想改，但是这个不允许，案例就不允许，最好是想好的一个政策，对。要不然我们也想买第一季，对，但我们更想买第一季。
好的，你们可以
握手。
一起讨论吧。结束了。